Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Yo, and today we're going to talk about manifesting and dreaming big, and I don't know what else because I start off one thing and we just going to talk a little bit today. Okay. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for joining me again today. And I thank you for all you have subscribed. If you are new, please subscribe. Come back Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m. Central Time and join me. I'm cool people. So let's get into it. So, about 3 years ago, I ran across this post and it was talking about manifesting. And I'm like, what is manifesting? It just kind of um had my curiosity a little bit. So I started to research it and see. Excuse me. My sinuses are draining, so excuse me. So I started manifesting. I started researching. See, I ain't finna start this video over. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I just started this video probably 6 or 7 times, and look, I ain't starting it over. Okay. I started to research manifestation. I started to really seeing what it was about, and I was like, can I really do this? Can I really manifest something? And I had the opportunity to do something. I took a challenge, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to manifest, and I did it, and it worked. And so my thing today is to tell you, it does not matter where you are in life. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how broke you are. I don't care how much you're struggling. You can start over. You can reinvent yourself. You can really start believing in you and your abilities. God has placed a gift in all of us. What your cousin and them can do, what you got in you, you can do better. Okay, so that's the big thing about social media too. Excuse me. A lot of times, most of us know how the devil dwells. You know, he will dwell in areas that you're weak in, your insecurities. He will dwell in a breakup. I mean, he'll just dwell in places that, can have more control over your mind. Um, and, you know, a lot of times we fall victim every single time to it. And, if for instance, if you are wanting to go back to college and you are late 30s, early 40s, or mid 40s, and you want to go back to college, and you've been thinking and thinking and thinking, and you happen to go down your timeline and you done seen 6 people graduate, 3 older than you, 3 right in your neck of the woods of your age, and you like, dang, they doing it, why I can't do it? He'll make you feel like you can't do it. He'll make you feel like you can't go back to school. He'll make you feel like you can't dream big. He wants to limit you in any way possible. And I had to learn. I had to push myself, really, really push myself to say, you know what? What God did for this person that I see on my timeline, he can do for me in my own way. Meaning, if this person got this brand new house, because I pray to be a homeowner, okay? So this person got this beautiful brand new house, and it's like, I'm like, okay, he'll make you think, okay, you ain't gonna never get no house. You ain't gonna never have no house like that. This and this and that and that. But instead of that, I flip it. And I'm like, okay, God, you bless them with the house. And I pray that you bless me with my own house. And I be specific about what I want my house to be, how many rooms, how many bedrooms, how I want my kitchen, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have to get out of that mind frame of what he's done for others, he can't do for us. What makes them better than us? Excuse me. You have to ask yourself, God blesses other people. Why won't he bless me? If you're thinking about your sins, if you're thinking about your past, if you're thinking about things that you think will keep God from using you and blessing you and elevating you, excuse me, think again. Think again, because he really, and I'm going to tell you something, he really, really uses people like us. Like us. People that have a past, people that beat themselves up, people that don't love themselves like they need to love themselves, people who don't really feel confident, people who have dealt with depression, anxiety, people who haven't graduated college. He uses people like us. He do. Because one thing I know for sure, he will qualify you. God will put you somewhere, whether it's owning your own business, whether it's wherever at your job and you get this promotion that you ain't took NAN class for. He will promote you. He will qualify you. And you will just be amazed at what he can do. You know? And that's why I tell people, don't be afraid to dream big. I'm going to tell you something. I learned so much when I was severely depressed. I learned so much at that time. I didn't see what I learned till after I came out of it, because while you in it, you feel like you ain't coming out of it. You feel like ain't nobody there, ain't nobody gonna understand. You just feel lower than low. But once I came out of it, and I still deal with depression, okay? But I was at a very, very low point, very dark place, is what I'm saying. So when I came out of that place, thank you, God, I realized all these things. Like I had actually had some growth, and I actually loved me a little more. You know, like it was some things like I'm like, wait a minute, this is pretty good. So one thing on my channel, I'm not going to tell you anything I haven't experienced. If I do tell you something I have not experienced, that means you and I are learning together. Point blank, period. I ain't one of them people that's going to come on here and say, for instance, if I was single, I ain't finna come on here and tell you how married folk act. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna do it. So I learned a lot, and that's when I learned to dream big. You know, at first when I started doing it, I'm like, man, what I was dreaming about, you know, and just envisioning and all that stuff, I'm like, God is not going to do this. But it really didn't start having an effect until I started to believe it. You know, when I started to believe it, I really started to believe that. I'm crazy enough to believe that, yeah, God is going to bless me with a home, my own house. God is going to bless me with, just, it took me a while though. And I encourage anybody watching, if you feel like you're not worthy because of just things you did, and you know, let me tell you, he loved you just the same. He loved you just the same. See, family, look, family will hold you to some stuff. Family will hold you to something you did 15 years ago. And they'll make you feel like, you know, you ain't gonna be nothing. You know, family is something else. And that's why, listen, I'm trying to pick my words carefully, y'all. Family, friends, you know, if you got people in your life that don't encourage you and support you, and they don't pray for you, they ain't trying to, you know, help you get further in life, you know, they are not looking, they don't care about what your past is. They looking at your heart. They looking at the friendship y'all got. They looking at the love y'all got. If you don't got people like that in your life, you need to get them people. Real talk, because family will have you sitting around here ain't moving, you know. And sometimes you got to distance yourself from some people. And it might be family. And some of that family might be mama and daddy, you know, sister or brother, You know, it could be some close cousins, whoever, but you might have to distance yourself because, you know, one thing, you know, I know for a fact that God will do, He will remove people from your life that are a crutch. And you know, He'll remove people that are not good for you, as well as people that are good for you, that you think are good for you. You know, if you are, you know, if you got some people in your life that bail you out all the time and they, you know, they just there all the time for you to just, you know, he will remove them because at the end of the day, he wants you to solely depend on him. And why we don't do that? Why do we always run to somebody before we run to God? You know, I did it. I did it. And it took me a very long time. God had to really work on me, really, really work on me for me to start to go to Him first. Because if you think about it, all things flow from God. You know, you going to somebody to ask them for some money, guess what? God had to bless them with that money to help you. Like, all things flow from Him. He is the source. So why wouldn't we go to Him first? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help y'all. Listen, I'd have been through too much for me to keep quiet, you know, and me not to talk about things because, you know, your testimony will bless somebody. Your testimony will help somebody. It'll save a life. And I'm all about getting to where you need to be, you know, and not letting your life be nothing. Just, you know, being mediocre and stuff like that. And I mean, life is too short. You know, we gotta really take this time that we got, you know, and use it, you know. And I'll say this before I close today. You know, some people might be at their bottom. Your bottom ain't gonna be somebody else's bottom. Bottom, I mean, you at a low place. You know, you in a hole that you helped create for yourself, and you trying to get out of it. And it's taking all your strength to get out of it. Only person that can help you get out of it is God. I want to tell you, I know about being at the bottom. I know about being at the bottom. I know how it is to be fighting your way out the bottom, and you got all this other stuff you dealing with and you thinking about. And I just want to tell you to keep fighting, because God is not only gonna bring you out the bottom, but He's gonna do so many things in you. So when you come out, you're not gonna go back, and you're gonna help other people not to go in their bottom. Now, sometimes the bottom is necessary, because God, He does a lot of pruning. He does a lot of, you know, stripping of things, and, you know, He does a lot of, you grow, you learn new things and stuff like that. But sometimes, you know, we create our own bottom, and we get to a point where it's like, okay, God, you know, you got to surrender, and you're the only one that can help me out this bottom. I'm coming out my bottom. I ain't ashamed to tell you, I'm coming out my bottom. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. At first, I was discouraged, and I didn't think I was, you know, making any progress. You know, I'm like, man, but it's all about learning. It's all about and not giving up. It's about trusting Him at His word. And I've been doing that. And I'm coming out my bottom. I'm in such a different place mentally and emotionally. And I still have a ways to go, but I can say that I've made a whole lot of progress, you know. And just keep doing it. Don't worry about what people say, you know, because see, that's the thing. You're gonna have to get a deaf ear to that. You know, not worrying about what people say, but because, you know, people will talk. They're gonna talk anyway. We already know that. Let them talk. You know, let them talk while you coming out. Let them talk while, you know, God is blessing you left and right. Let them talk when, you know, you get that promotion, or, you know, you get financially stable, you get that new car, that house, that new man, that new woman. Let them talk. Give them something to talk about. Because, I just feel like people who want to know your business, and if you're a private person, they're going to make some stuff up. How do I know that? Okay, I'm glad you asked me. How do I know that? Because if I ain't told nobody, I know you making it up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, well, you keep on. That's how I know you watching me. You looking. You intrigued. So I'm going to give you something to watch and see. I'm going to let you see this growth and all this beautifulness just come together, because that's what it is. And like I said, if you're on my Facebook, I did a post and I said, you don't need a single soul to support you. Not a living single soul to support you. As long as you got God, long as you got Him, that's all you need. I know that may sound like a cliche, but that's real talk. For real. I'm talking about, you don't need no family, no friends. He gonna bring you out. So be encouraged. Keep doing you. Keep doing you, because He created you. He created you. And at the end of the day, when you get before Him, He ain't gonna ask you about Peanut and them and Pee Wee and them and Mama and them. He gonna ask you solely about you. He ain't gonna ask them about you. So do you, and be beautiful at it. You know what I'm saying? Have an impact on this world. Real talk. So thank you for joining me. I hope you got something out of this. And I look forward to seeing y'all on my next video. It will be Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Thank you again for joining me.